Welcome back to Trick by Track.
Time has passed.
We're wearing different shirts. Pippin is still struggling.
But this is another day. This is
another day. Yeah. Totes.
And Pippin is the same kind of energy
that she did yesterday. She always is. Yeah.
This is a very tight shirt.
Okay.
I decided to go with my tight outfit today.
Is this 2 Sundays now?
Is it finally 2 Sundays?
Is this 2 Sundays now? Is this because we're doing Trick by Track by memory now? We're not even looking it up.
Hard mode.
I think it's 2 Sundays. Am I right?
Yeah, you start talking about it, and if we have to switch, we'll just cut this intro.
The history of 2 Sundays begins with me. Well, it doesn't begin with me finding it, but my memory of it disappeared. So
yeah, I was taking the kids to the bathroom.
Well, no. We were going. No, so this was just on my computer. I was going through old stuff.
2 Sundays.
And we were just looking through.
Yes.
Demos that I had made, and I came upon this. And I was like, I don't remember.
Really? Oh, okay.
This, and you were like. And it was the verse. It was the...
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I love that
part. Yeah. And we had that and nothing else. I had written this verse, and I'm very good at writing verses, I think. I think that's sort of... I usually just start with a verse, and I think that's a forte of mine, is just making a good verse. And so we had this good verse.
Yeah, great verse.
And I had completely forgotten it. I'd probably ditched it, thinking, not good enough, whatever. And then
too basic.
You were like, what is that verse? And I was like, I guess it sounds good. Let's, build off of it. And that's what we did. And the other funny thing is we both went to write the chorus for it.
Yes.
And what we did is we ended up using yours.
Sure.
But they were just the inverse of each other.
Yeah.
You had the
A flat major 7.
You had the descending
version back to the
and I just had the same chords but ascending.
Yeah.
Just the reverse of each other. And we were like, the descending might work a little better.
Yeah, it just sounds
but it was we just essentially just had the same idea, just in the opposite order. It was pretty funny.
And then I think I did the pre-chorus, because I was like, you wrote the verse. We might have co-written the pre-chorus, or like...
I'm not remembering. I think you're probably right. I think you wrote because you heard it and you were like, whoa, I want to jump off on this. So you had the impetus, you had the idea. And this is something I had just thrown away, essentially.
This is a great example of what I have to deal with every day with Sam's bullshit, where he'll write a great riff and then just throw it away. Like today when he was showing me the new effects pedal.
Yeah, we got a new...
Just 20
pedal.
new great classic rock riffs. Out the window.
Yes.
But that's because it's like you said, it's very simple. It's very driving, and you probably just went
and I think through your appreciation of it, I did go this is actually pretty cool.
I heard it and I was like, this sounds like my childhood.
We both went to do the chorus, and you had the descending. We used the descending, but it was the same chords. It was really fun that we had the same.
But
basic notion.
And then the drums came from.
I think that was something I built in the Logic file.
But you recorded them in the auditorium.
No.
What? That's not that song?
No, that song that's Lucky Cycle. Lucky Cycle had drums in the... I think some of them made it on. I think some of those little cymbal taps are and it's file. The trashy kids kit.
Yeah.
It's the really bad one that CCM bought. Not the good one that you bought.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I thought
really
it was
funny.
The trashy kids kit.
No,
was doing the boom. And then
No.
Interesting.
It was just something I built in Logic, I'm pretty sure. And then we told Doug, our engineer, and Joe,
for Record One,
we just want the Phil Collins huge drums for that. And so that's what you get.
Mixed a little,
That's what you get. And I think if anything it's a little too loud still. And when we talk about it, it's the last thing you add is gonna be the loudest because it's like that's what you want to hear.
Yeah,
when you're mixing.
True.
But you definitely do get that Phil Collins just like huge drum sound for those verses, and then you get like a little bit more of a subdued kind of. This was a difficult transition one for us, I think.
The transitions
demo,
don't sound smooth. Yeah.
From demo to not even between sections. I think, and they're very different. So I hear what you're saying. It's very drastic changes. But between the demo going into the final version with Doug, him remixing and stuff. There was some issue with like files not getting transferred correctly, and there's like, I was like, where are the acoustic guitars? And he's just what acoustic guitars? It sounds so empty and bad. Like, what is this song that we've given you? Like, why? Like, it's like because we weren't having the same problems on the other ones. But I was like, I don't want to like offend you, but it's just like, what is happening with this song? And then half of it was just missing.
Yeah, exactly. And it took a while to even comprehend that might be the case.
Exactly.
The files just didn't send.
And I'm like, oh yeah, there literally are just missing.
They're just missing. There's nothing wrong that's being tweaked or not tweaked. They're just missing.
And then, and the chorus, I feel like the chorus, and I do like the song now,
yeah,
but
it's a good song.
I think the chorus on the demo, it had these like digital drums, but it had some kind of like crunchy compression effect on them, and it was just mono, and they had a little bit of a different life to them than on what's on the album version. And there's a little bit of, different sort of type of atmosphere, which I think was good. Not that the version that we landed on is bad, but I think there is something about the demo that I did like that isn't necessarily there entirely. So I think this one for me, just on a production level, this one is like the one where I still have some
you listen to it
questions about it and go like, this is, not what I had envisioned as much as the other ones.
Yeah.
But an interesting songwriting excursion, definitely.
That's,
like the process behind it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a bit more of that for album 4.
Yeah.
Album 4 will be a very crazy Beverly.
Yeah, who knows what album 4. Part of me just thinks it's like, well, this is the one where we're gonna be just practicing with like the drums first, and it will just be this super stripped back like drums guitar album, and then it will just be like 10 songs. We'll be like, it's just a little album before the main event. Who knows?
Our little dance punk album.
Yeah,
drums first. That's what I would do if I heard drums first. I would start going down,
in the room. It's like that kind of sound. Who knows? Because it's all about the room. It's all about. But that's another day. 50 episodes later, we'll be talking about that song.
So one thing we never talk about is the lyrics. Or we sometimes don't talk about the lyrics. But
this one was interesting lyrically because
it was one of our first times writing in the room together back to back. And
yes.
Kind of going like, I have this. That's better than this. Let's put these two together.
And I think there's also like our writing styles.
Yeah, came out.
We're also different from each other. So mine, and I think on Beverly it's a little bit more obvious. Perhaps it's like I think mine are a little bit more abstract.
Sure.
You don't necessarily know what's going on. Hey, little grump, you gonna grump at me? You gonna grump at me? Gonna grump at me? But and I think it was just sort of like a basic, like I think maybe you had sort of like, okay, like let's talk about like this kind of feeling, and I had
let's brainstorm some words.
I read and what I wrote were lyrics to the first verse and the chorus.
Something like
that. I think
yeah.
that's what I wrote.
Yeah, I think because
and then you wrote the.
Yeah. My chorus just ended up as the outro.
Yeah, the pre-chorus, and then you wrote the second verse.
Yeah.
And then the outro, which is like an extension of the chorus.
Yeah.
Which I really like. I think that's and I think melodically that's the strongest part. I think that's what brings it together.
Right.
So I really appreciate you coming with that cool line. And
but yeah,
but is it mine? I felt like mine were very abstract.
Yeah, what are
just
they?
Sort of like.
Because I'm talking about going on a yacht boat to dance.
Yeah, I don't think I'm talking about that at all.
Yeah.
I think it's like, I think mine are
or at least that's where
about,
mine started. Like, we just synced it together.
I think mine is like sort of like, I think there's like, it's like about like disgust and like, you know, maybe, are you okay? Are you feeling a certain way? Yeah, just might go. Well, just in your mouth, Okay. People are gonna love this.
I mean, if we let you go sit alone and you just barked. So.
Yeah, she needs some love. But
yeah, I think it's you did write very poetically and abstractly, and I was kind of going like, what's the narrative? Like, what am I supposed to do? Or am I supposed to just come up with the imagery you come up with? Because then it's hard for me to go like... Because those things have meaning to you. I can't tap into your... I mean, I'm getting better at it because I've been more familiar with your lyrics and your writing style. And like, but, you know, I was like, what does the stone mean to you? You know, or I wasn't gonna be doing that shit, you know, like, too much. Like,
yeah, so I think maybe less... I think this might be the song that's least cohesive.
Oh, yeah, it's the least cohesive song.
It's just...
But
it really is two songwriters just attacking... two like different parts of the song and putting it together, and it's interesting for that. Like, you know, there aren't too many songs like that out there in the world.
Yeah, but you know, it's the two guys song. We can make it. It's the most normal, the most. I think I did have some like The Spies or something. It's written down somewhere which character this of our most abstract song is.
It's The Spies, for the musical, what are they going to be?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait. But what abstract lyric can I take literally to make this into a character?
Literally. Well, yeah, because I was trying to do that like Ezra Koenig thing where like you talk about borders and you talk about like space as this thing that your consciousness crosses, you know?
Yeah.
Like... because that's a lot of what I was experiencing at the time. I was, I guess, traveling a lot. And, anyway, I think I tried to match your lyrics in spirit, but still talk about the thing that I wanted to talk about, or needed to talk about at the time. But yeah, I think it came out as a great back and forth, a very classic back and forth. Just, it's a very nice pop song, you know, and then it led... to us being able to do more interesting back and forth, like with Friend and Endgame, which I think came later. Because, like you said, this was like, you know, we were showing each other riffs. I don't write songs in computers. And you were like...
I've always been a recording person.
Like,
that's how I've written songs.
Yeah, whereas I just go out on stage and go like, hope that was a good performance. Like, Jeepers, mister.
And I'm like, the take here must be like this, and then we must... go into the next section.
So we had gotten into the discussion of electronic music, and you were kind of like, let me show you these Logic files where I was screwing around with synths, and that's what led to, maybe that's when you were showing me this, you were like, oh, I also have this, not necessarily electronic, but that's also...
Yeah, we had been going, this song wasn't one of those.
Yeah.
But it might have been because we were looking for those.
Exactly,
that's a good point.
Exactly.
It might have been because we were looking for those. And with that, it ended up being like Easy Cure, I think.
Yeah, Easy Cure and Tennis Court. And
Tennis...
Yeah.
No, Tennis Court no, was not. You might think it was, but it's not.
You learned something new
I think
every day.
Easy Cure was the only one that actually made it on.
Interesting.
Tennis Court may be in the same vein.
Yeah.
But Tennis Court actually started out as a guitar demo during the time we were...
Yeah, it just sounds super electronic, I guess, maybe I came in one day and you were like, I've got this new demo, and I just associated it with...
Yeah. Like, because stylistically, it definitely has more electronic influence. But Easy Cure was like... So, yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah, I have nothing else to say about this. It's a dope little song.
It's a dope little song. And it's interesting. I think, again, for me, I think it's one of the songs I have a little more complicated feelings about. But whenever you're writing a song, it's like your favorite song you're writing. And that's the same for this one. But then at the end of it, you go like, this isn't my favorite of my favorites, though. But then, I remember you were showing it to one of your friends, and this was one of the songs that they
loved. Were like, this is great, yeah.
So I love hearing that. And going like, oh, it's like still people like all the different kinds of songs, and it's just a different kind of person likes this kind of song. So that's great for me.
So you put so many on the album.
Yeah, that's why you just write 20 and make Chordcoutrements.
Chordcoutrements, Pippin.
Pippin.
Pippin, you want to turn off the camera since you have a free hand?